So today's video is a get ready with me video. This one is hopefully going to be a little bit less chatty than my last one was. But I'm just going to get ready using the Tarte Energy Noir palette. I have one video using this palette already, but I want to do a look using this palette with only the matte shades. Well, mostly only the matte shades. I gotta put some lip stuff on first because my lips are chapped. This is the Vaseline Lip Therapy. Alright, I'm gonna zoom you in just a little bit so you can see my eyeballs. FYI, I just did my eyebrows, that's why they look a little bit red and irritated. So I'm just gonna start by priming like I always do. I'm gonna use this primer. It doesn't really have a name. This is the primer that I got in my kit from school. If you don't know, I just finished going to school to be a makeup artist. And this is the eye primer that came in my kit, so it's not really available for purchase, but it's amazing. I've never tried the MAC paint pots, but I would assume that it's something similar to this. This is probably almost the same thing as the MAC paint pots because I've always just heard that those are great because they're a little bit thick and they cancel out the discoloration of your eyelids. Like you can see this one compared to this one. I don't use this on other people, that's why I'm just dipping my finger in it like it's no big deal. This is just for me. All right, now that I'm all primed, I'm gonna dip into the palette and I'm taking this lightest white matte shade right there and I'm using that to set the primer. This brush is from Wet n Wild and it's fan-freaking-tastic. All right, now I'm gonna take one of my favorite crease blending brushes ever. It's just a natural hair fluffy blending brush and I'm gonna dip it into this soft mauve-y lavender shade and just buff it into my crease. I'm pretty much taking that same shade and the same brush and I'm just gonna dust it all over my whole lid very lightly. All right, now that I've got that done, I'm gonna go ahead and take this deep matte purple shade here. And I'm gonna use this Coastal Scents blending brush. It's just like a blending crease brush, but it is more paddle style, as you can see. Like when you turn it this way, it gets thinner. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that deeper purple shade and just add it on the outer part of my crease and on the outer third of my eyelid and blend it up into the crease. All right, now I'm grabbing this more precise brush. This is a crease brush from Elle. It's like their $1 line and it's just a little itty bitty pencil brush. And I'm gonna do the same technique with the same color, just with this different brush to get it more precise and a little more deep where I want it to be. And then I'm going in with that same blending brush just to blend out the edges. Both of my eyes look so different from each other right now. I like this side better, which is a bummer because it's gonna be harder to get this one to look like this one than it is gonna be to get this one to look like this one because there's more purple in this one than there is in this one. Dang it! And my camera battery is dying. I planned this so well. I'm basically just going back and forth, adding more and more of that deep purple to each eye until they look like each other. All right, now I'm taking that same e.l.f. crease brush and I'm gonna dip it into this really deep color and just place this right on the outer corner of my eye. I'm not gonna bring this into my crease at all. Then I'm taking this blending brush, blend that out. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of Makeup Geek Chickadee and a fluffy blending brush. This one is by Wet n Wild. I'm gonna use my little trick when I'm working with cool tone shadows and it starts to look like I got punched in the face. I take a nice warm shadow and just lightly dust it on the very outside, and it makes it look less like I got punched. I'm gonna use this shade here from the palette to highlight my brow bone. Now I'm gonna do my liner and my mascara, which I pretty much always use the same thing, NYX Liquid Liner and Revlon Volume Plus Length Magnified Mascara. I think I'm just gonna do like a chill wing today. Just taking a makeup wipe and cleaning up the edge of my shadow and my wing. Those are some uneven wings right there. All right, so this next step is something that I do every single time I do my makeup, but I don't think I've ever actually showed it in a video because I think it's a little bit boring, but I'm just gonna go ahead and explain it really quick. I don't like to put mascara on top of my upper lashes because I think that at least for me, it always starts to look clumpy too quickly. So what I do is I take my eyeliner, this is the NYX one that I use for my wing, and I just literally paint it on top of my eyelashes so that the top of my eyelashes are as black as the rest of my eyelashes. Let me zoom you in so maybe you can see a little bit. Do you see the difference a little bit? Like these look nice and black and then these are a little bit more ashy looking. So that's why I do that. Now I'm just gonna go in with my mascara like I always do. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start on my face. I'm gonna prep my skin using my Gerard Cosmetics Soleil All Day Setting Spray, which I'm almost out of. This is in the peach scent. I'm gonna keep your eyes closed for a sec when you're using this stuff because it's so strong. Kathleen posted. Would that be weird if I watched a YouTube video while filming a YouTube video? That'd be weird. All right, now I'm spot concealing with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser. I go through this stuff so quickly. I'm a third of the way through this sucker already. Now I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush to buff that in a little bit. Now for my foundation, I am using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. This one is in the shade 102. And I'm gonna mix it with this Manic Dreamtone foundation. This is the shade Virgin. This is the second lightest shade in the Pro Matte line from L'Oreal, but this is the correct undertone for my skin tone. If you're wondering why I'm mixing the second lightest shade with a white foundation, you're like, why don't you just use the lightest shade, 101? And I do this because this is the correct undertone. The shade 101, which is what I've used for months now, is too pink on me, and that's why it looks like it doesn't match. It's not too dark necessarily, it's just too pink, so it does not match my skin tone. This is too dark for my skin tone, but the undertone is correct. So I'm just gonna use this to lighten it. I'm just using this random glass candle lid thingy to mix the foundations. I don't really know how much to use. I'm pretty fair, so I'm gonna go with a lot. Now I'm using this little concealer brush to mix up my little concoction over here. I'm still figuring out how to use this Manic foundation. This is only my second time using this, so I'm trying to figure out what my perfect mixture is. But if I'm not mistaken, I think that this Manic foundation might add coverage, and I really hope I'm right because I will never say no to more coverage. Blending that in using my Real Techniques sponge. I still think it's too dark. Still doesn't match me. Now for concealer slash highlights. I'm gonna use this one by Maybelline. It's their Coverstick. Yes, Maybelline Coverstick. This is in the white shade. I totally already broke this. I'm also going to use this to highlight down the center of my face. Very messily, apparently. I already need to buy a new one of these because it's disgusting. Now I'm taking just a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me. Just a little bit underneath my eyes. This is to sort of darken it up a little bit, just a little bit, and also to help it blend out a little bit better. And I'm just blending all that out with my damp Real Technique sponge. Alright, so I just went ahead and set my under eyes with my RCMA No Color Powder. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face using my Bare Minerals Matte Powder Foundation. Oh no, I just made such a mess. I'm going to use this nice big fluffy powder brush. Since this is a foundation, it will add coverage and that might make it look cakey. So I don't want to pack it on. Oh, that's going to darken my foundation a lot. Now I'm dipping into my NYX Contour Kit, taking the lightest shade here, which is called Toffee? No. Sculpt. I don't know why this is so difficult for me to decipher, but it's called Sculpt. And this is my Real Techniques contour brush. It does not look like that in person. I don't know why my bronzer always looks patchy. I'm gonna grab my powder brush that I was using to set my face and see if I can get that to tone down a little bit. Because it's starting to make me angry. It's so cool toned on this foundation that it almost looks purple. It looks like I got hit right here in the head with a golf ball. And maybe just try and warm it up a little bit, but very, very lightly. On either side of my nose. Now for blush, I'm using this one from the palette. Hey look, it matches my forehead bronzer. Just grabbing my e.l.f. small tapered brush so I can brush this bakage away. I'm just using this powder brush to try to clean up the contour. I'm not gonna bake underneath it or anything like I usually do. I need to tone down the blush. Powder brush, again. All right, now I'm gonna highlight and I'm gonna use, am I gonna regret this? I'm gonna use this eyeshadow from the palette. This is what I use to highlight my brow bone. So I'm gonna use it to highlight my cheekbones. My nose, Cupid's bow. I'm gonna use that to fill in my eyebrows. I'm taking a little spoolie to blend out that color. Now I'm setting my brows using my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the shade medium to dark. I'm gonna line my waterline using Colourpop Exit. Now I'm taking this pencil brush and dipping into the lavender shade from the palette. Now I'm gonna dip into this darker shade here, and I'm gonna run that on my lower lash line as well and just really, really buff it out. I'm just gonna take this shader brush here. It has absolutely nothing on it, and I'm gonna use it to help buff out that shadow on my lower lash line so I don't look so panda-y, hopefully. Now I'm just highlighting my inner corner using this shade once more. NYX Butter Gloss, Creme Brûlée. And now I'm just gonna set my face. So that completes this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any future videos of mine. And until next time.